world champion at 130 pounds. So he moves up 2 weight classes, fights Oscar De La Hoya, and now he basically is fighting at welterweight, but fighting a guy 3 weight classes heavier than that.
The rise of a legend, Manny Pacquiao. Before he became a global icon, before the championship belts, the sold-out arenas, and the millions of fans, Manny Pacquiao was just a kid trying to survive. Born in Cabor and raised in General Santos City, Pacquiao grew up in extreme poverty. There were days when he had nothing to eat. Days when survival mattered more than dreams. Sometimes, he even slept on the streets. But deep inside, he carried something powerful. A dream to change his life. At just 14 years old, he left home and traveled to Manila. Alone. No money. No connections. Just determination. In Manila, life was brutal. He worked small jobs just to survive. Sometimes he trained without proper food. Without proper equipment. But inside the ring, he found his purpose. Pacquiao turned professional at just 16 years old. But his early career wasn't easy. He faced defeats. He struggled to make weight. And in 1996, he suffered a devastating knockout loss. For many fighters, that moment could have ended everything. But for Pacquiao, it became his turning point. He came back stronger, faster, and more determined. Then came his breakthrough. In 1998, he won his first world title. But his biggest break on the global stage didn't happen in the Philippines. It happened in Los Angeles. In 2001, Pacquiao was brought in as a last-minute replacement to fight Leloanolo Ledwaba. He had almost no time to prepare. He was unknown to most American fans. And he was considered the underdog. The fight took place at the famous MGM Grand. But what happened shocked everyone. Pacquiao dominated the fight. His speed, power, and aggression overwhelmed Ledwaba. And in the 6th round, he knocked him out. That victory became his first big break in the United States. Overnight, Manny Pacquiao was no longer just a local fighter. He became a rising star on the global stage. From that moment on, his career exploded. He began facing bigger names, stronger opponents. And one by one, he proved he belonged at the top. One of his most intense rivalries was against Juan Manuel Marquez. Their 4 fights became legendary, filled with knockdowns, controversy, and unforgettable moments. Then came a defining fight against Oscar De La Hoya. Many believed Pacquiao was too small. But he proved them wrong, dominating the fight until De La Hoya could no longer continue. After that, Pacquiao reached another level. He defeated Miguel Cotto in a brutal battle. He knocked out Ricky Hatton with one of the most iconic punches in boxing history. A single left hand that ended the fight instantly. He also faced Shane Mosley, showcasing his speed and skill to a global audience. But the biggest fight of his career, the one the entire world waited for, was against Floyd Mayweather Jr. Years of hype. Years of anticipation. When they finally fought in 2015, it became one of the most watched and richest fights in boxing history. Although Pacquiao lost that fight, it didn't define his legacy. Because his greatness was built long before that moment. Pacquiao achieved something no other boxer has ever done. He became the only fighter in history to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions. But his journey wasn't just about victories. It was about resilience. He suffered losses, including a brutal knockout in his 4th fight with Marquez. Yet every time he fell, he came back stronger. Outside the ring, Pacquiao became more than a fighter. He became a symbol of hope. A national hero in the Philippines. Eventually, he entered politics and served as a senator, continuing to fight for his people. From poverty to global fame. From the streets to the Senate. His story proves that greatness isn't given. It's earned. Through struggle. Through sacrifice. Through relentless determination. Because Manny Pacquiao wasn't just fighting opponents. He was fighting for a better life. And in doing so, he became one of the greatest legends boxing has ever seen. And as Manny Pacquiao once said, "I don't mind if I get knocked down. What matters is I get back up." Because in the end, that's what truly defines a legend. Please like, comment and subscribe for Coming vid.